Hello, I'm Sydney, and welcome to my Flock and Squawk. Today we're going to make some lemon bars, also known as lemon squares. You see, I have my stand mixer, and to start with the crust we are doing half a cup of butter, 1 cup flour, and a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Also, don't forget to have a pinch of salt. If you're interested in this recipe, you can wait until the end of the video to pause on an image that I will share, or you can go over to my blog, flockandsquawk.com. This mixture for the crust is very crumbly. It is kind of like a powder, and so it packs well into the 9x9 inch pan that we will be putting it into. I like to combine the flour and the butter first before adding in the powdered sugar. Be sure to have your oven preheating to 350 degrees. My oven is a little temperamental, so I usually start preheating well before I actually start mixing up what I need to put in. It usually takes my oven a little bit longer after it beeps to say that it is. To help control your oven temperature, or at least manage it, I recommend getting one of the in-oven temperature gauges. Mine just has a little hook and it sits on the rack, and so I can peek in and double check what temperature my oven is actually at. I like to pause every now and then and scrape down the sides of my bowl just to be sure that everything's being incorporated evenly. At the end of this video, I also include the recipe as the end card. If you're interested, you can check it out further on Instagram at flock_squawk. I was kind of inspired by Casey Golden over on YouTube to draw with MS Paint. She has been saying that it's the year of the crayon, so I decided to work a little bit in MS Paint. It's kind of like the crayon of the art program world. So I hope you enjoy that also. I'm kind of thinking that I might want to do more pieces like it for my blog and Instagram as well. And if you are interested in more recipes like this one where it's super simple, they are over on my blog. I have a couple on YouTube also. I've done grape nuts muffins, and I really enjoy making these kinds of videos. Initially I was planning on this one being not a voiceover, but because of the sound of the mixer and just general background noise, my audio recording in the moment of making the treat was kind of unusable for my standards. That's why I'm doing a voiceover. Last week, if you want to see how to make a square in a square quilt block, I have started a random block of the month. So if you would like, you can check that out. I use a random number generator to help me choose a block to make. I'm really into sewing and, as you can see, into baking. And these are the two primary things for my blog and for my YouTube, so feel free to check that out also. I post every Saturday on the blog, and I post every Sunday here on YouTube. And I post kind of sporadically throughout the week on Instagram. So as you can see, the mixture is quite crumbly, even with softened butter. So you just dump that into a 9x9 pan. I didn't even prepare my pan. I didn't grease it. I didn't add any parchment paper or anything. And these came out perfectly. They weren't sticking. So I just dump as much of the mixture as I can, and then with clean hands, I just patted it into an even layer. It's quite satisfying to pat the crust into the dish, There's just something about it. It's a little bit sandy in texture, but also just, I don't know, kind of reminds me of Play-Doh in a way. Not in the texture necessarily, but in like the satisfying feeling of patting it down. There's something satisfying in having such a tactile experience. And once this is all into your dish, you're just going to want to bake for 20 minutes at the 350 degrees. While this is baking, I like to wash up my dishes and utensils that I used and then start on the filling. So after reviewing the recipe, after I made this video, I've decided that I'd rather double the filling for the next time. So what you're seeing me in the video is making a single batch of the original filling, but the instructions that I'm going to give you for the quantities are going to be for my ideal lemon bar, lemon square, which is double the filling. So for the filling you will need 4 eggs, as I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that is my cat Aslan purring. If you want to see pictures of him, head over to Instagram. He's a big orange boy. So for the filling, you are going to need 4 eggs, 4 tablespoons of flour, 2 cups sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and around 4 to 5 tablespoons of lemon juice, which I would say is probably 2 lemons or so. You can also use lemon juice from a bottle. And what you are going to do is just whisk it all together and pour it over the crust. The crust doesn't have to be cool for it to be poured over. I literally just take it out of the oven, pour the topping, filling on, and then toss it back in the oven at 350 for 25 additional minutes. It is as simple as that. So I hope that you'll give this super simple spring treat a chance, and that you'll go ahead and check out the other recipes and baked goods that I have made. My commitment to my YouTube is to make a block of the month once a month and a baked treat at least once a month, and then I have 2 weeks or 2 videos a month, including blog posts, that are sort of wild cards. So you may get more sewing, you may get more baking, you may get just like a friendly sit down, talk about a topic, such as what's the origin of my channel name and my blog name. So if you're interested in those kind of topics, there's no harm, no foul in checking it out. So for me, I decided to actually use a lemon, and as you saw, it is super simple to roll the lemon on the countertop applying pressure. It kind of loosens up the lemon. And then I like to cut it in half, and I take a fork and stick it in, squeeze the lemon, and use the fork to kind of juice it. No need for any fancy juicer accessories, just a good old fork. And I like to do it over glass, so that way I can catch the seeds, and then I strain the lemon juice into the filling mixture. That way there's no seeds and there aren't any pieces of lemon that are too big for the filling. Now, lemon squares, you might think, might have a little bit of sourness, but they're actually, because of the sugar, quite delightfully refreshing. It's almost like lemonade. So it's not overly sour and it's not too sweet. It's a perfect middle ground. So as you can see here, I was just finishing up whisking the filling and then getting ready to pour it over the crust base once it comes out of the oven. I just cut the camera and washed my hands, and now I'm turning off the timer, opening the oven up, and pulling out the crust. As you can see, it doesn't have too much color, but it is fully set. For reference, I don't really have any cues for you to look for the crust. Just make sure that it's baked for about 20 minutes. Then just pour straight on the filling. Like you can see, it just came out of the oven. No big deal. Do not worry about the eggs in your mixture. And I like to use a spatula to try and get as much of the filling in. So now that you poured the filling in, you just want to take that gently and put it back in the oven for about 25 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes. I have not tested it with double the filling, but I assure you that because it sits until cool, that it is likely that the filling will set up enough even with the extra layer. But feel free to play around and switch it up to make it your own. And when you see it comes out of the oven looking a pale yellow on top, and then you want to go in right after you pull it out of the oven and cover it in powdered sugar so that the sugar will hopefully stick. Then you allow your dessert, your lemon squares, to cool until, or completely cool. Then you can slice them up. They hold their shape pretty well, so perfect for handling. Of course, you'll want a napkin with all the powdered sugar and whatnot. But there you have it. Some fabulous lemon squares. They are so addictive. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you are interested in trying my take on lemon squares. Let me know how they turned out in the comments below. What's your favorite way to make lemon squares? And over on Instagram, you can share what yours look like. So, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.